I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now on this Thursday, April the 23rd. 1 week from today, 1 week from tonight, the first round of the NFL draft. And as we listen to Jerry Reese and some of the Giants players hold court today and give you a little perspective on what they're thinking heading in to the 2015 draft, one thing to me is quite clear. When the Giants take the podium at number 9, barring a trade up or a trade back, there is going to be an anticipation about this pick. It's not often the New York Giants get to pick within the top 10. They've had a couple of tough seasons in a row, but still not the type of seasons you would expect, not the 4-12, 5-11 type of years that usually lead to top 10 picks. They have one here at number 9. They also have a football team that, if you take into consideration the way they played in December, the excitement around Odell Beckham Jr., the way the offense clicked towards the end of last year, bringing back Steve Spagnuolo, all these things together, and 5 primetime games the NFL gave them, many early in the season, there is a buzz around the Giants that they are going to be a pretty good football team again in 2015. But this number 9 pick and getting it right is critical. Last year, obviously, the Giants in the top half of the draft got it more than right with Odell Beckham Jr., a true difference maker on the outside. And last year there was a big debate among Giants fans both before and then after the draft, especially when Beckham became a Giant. Should they have gone the more boring route? Should they have gone the route of Zach Martin, the guy from Notre Dame, the offensive lineman from Notre Dame that became a great right guard for the Dallas Cowboys basically from the start? From the jump, week 1, Martin was there and a mauler on a very, very good Cowboys offensive line. In fact, the best offensive line in the National Football League. Martin was a big part of that, big part of the reason the Cowboys were better than the Giants last year. The Beckham-Martin debate might go on, really, without hyperbole, all the way till they both make it to the Hall of Fame. That's how good Martin is, and of course, we know how great Beckham is. Now we fast forward to today, to the present, the draft a week away. What should the Giants do at number 9? They're always in the market for a pass rusher. We know that. That's the way the Giants operate. But they're also with a glaring need, to me, on the offensive line, and there is a perfect fit there. There's also, with that, though, the possibility there could be another playmaking wide receiver there to maybe pair with Odell Beckham Jr., whether it be Amari Cooper or Kevin White. There's some segment of Giants fans who wonder, why not get another one of these guys? Why not get the great Amari Cooper if he slips and pair him with Odell Beckham? You're uncertain about Victor Cruz and all of that. But to me, this year, unlike last year, is the time to be boring, because the boring pick is the right pick for the New York Giants. Brandon Sheriff from Iowa, the offensive tackle, probably projects to being a guard, maybe a right tackle in the NFL. But Sheriff is the guy for the Giants here as we move forward and look at this 2015 NFL draft. You look at their offensive line, the way it could come together here, and there's one piece missing. Sheriff could be that one piece. You have Will Beatty. You have Weston Richburg now going to ascend to the center position. You have Jeff Schwartz coming back off injury. You have Justin Pugh. To me, there are 4 starting offensive linemen there, 4/5 of a good unit to block in front of Eli Manning, to block for a 3-headed rushing attack of Andre Williams, of Rashad Jennings, and Shane Vereen, and to block for Manning to have the time to go to Beckham and to go to Cruz. To get the kid out of Iowa, to get the best offensive line prospect in this class is the way to go for the Giants. And if they do it, some segments of this fan base will say it's boring. They shouldn't do it. They should go after another playmaker. But this time, like the Cowboys last year, it's time to be boring. And this time, as good as Cooper is and as good as White may be, I don't see a top wide receiver as great as Sammy Watkins was last year, as great as Mike Evans was last year, as great as Odell Beckham Jr. was last year. To me, those guys last year, those top 3 receivers were so great, you take them over an offensive lineman. This year, I like Cooper. White has potential. Even Devontae Parker has some potential, and there's a slew of other receivers later on. But what Sheriff could be out of Iowa, what Sheriff could do for the Giants' offensive line is too good to pass up at 9. Whether at guard, whether at tackle, you figure it out with Justin Pugh once you get into training camp. For the New York Giants, when the 2015 draft rolls around and the first round's there and the number 9 selection is on the clock, this year, it's time to be boring. I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now.